must give sadaqah or not? Ahsant, good job. There's no sadaqah on the man when he gives his wife. Not he must. So he must spend on her because this is a must. There is no sadaqah here. She's in need of anything, like the costs of life, the household, and all of these things, the expenses of life. He must do it, and it's not sadaqah. He's doing it because this is an order from Allah Azza wa Jal. This is her order. This is her right. As we talked about the rights in the previous slides, when we talked about the rights of women, the last one, which was number 11, we talked about spending on your house. This is a must. Spending on your house, this is a must on you. This is a duty on you, and we have to do it. It's not a sadaqah. But because the woman, she's not asked to give to you, when she gives to you, that's going to be, if she wants to give with the intention of sadaqah, that's going to be sadaqah on her. Nothing wrong with that. And we have a story of this. The wife of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, you can go and search for this story when she went asking Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam if she gives sadaqah to Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, is this allowed or not? And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam allowed this. طيب. Also, caring for the children and in-laws, the children, this is a responsibility. This is honesty. The man leaves the house. He's going to work for 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever. He's working for 2 jobs. He's working in the weekend. He's working in the weekdays. As people in Colorado, I don't know, people in the United States, all of them, they work this way. You guys, you work all the days. You work nights, days and nights. All the time you work, mashallah. You're killing yourself in work. I see some people like, I love to have all of this gathering, reading the Quran in my office Tuesday through Friday. Wallahi, I love this, But all I have 4 or 5 people, they come. They're genuine, And also the sisters. MashaAllah, I love to have the sisters in their classes on Saturday. And I also have like 6 sisters. Like when it's so too much is 8 sisters. I used to have 18 sisters. I don't know what's happening. The work. So the sisters also, they're working so much. I said that in the member last time, that when you get the summer vacation, I'm going to get you guys. SubhanAllah, when you get the summer vacation, you work harder. You don't stop working. What is this life? This is so hard. SubhanAllah. I was looking for 1 day off to go to my sheikh, to spend like 1-2 days staying there with my sheikh, and I could like sleep there the whole day and the next day to seek something. And we were working as well. You don't have to work the 7 days. You can work 5 days. You can work 3 days. Work to get money to live. Don't, try to have big economy at this age. If as long as you're still a student and you're not planning to marry unless you have like after 2 years or 3 years or something. But if you're graduated, khalas, work hard to marry, habibi. No problem with that. But if you're still a student, why don't you give yourself some space so that you can learn something about your deen? So that you can read some Quran, you can memorize something. Your kid, one day he will come to you and say, Baba Ali, can you read something to me? Can you read this page for me? If you can't read it, if you fail to read it, he's not going to be like a good student of Quran, a good one in learning his deen. He's going to say, Mom, I'm not going to read. Baba is not reading. He's going to say that. And it's said, It's said. Wallahi, people talk to me and they tell me something like this. Why would read? Like 8, 9, or 10 years old, he's talking to his mom. Why would read? As long as my father is not. It's your responsibility. If you read today, your son is going to read. And you read loudly, by the way. You go home, read loudly. You like to read loudly. He likes to read loudly. صح? His voice is so loud. You know that? When he reads here, all the masjid hears him. MashaAllah. Allahumma barik. So caring for the children and in-laws, the parents of your husband, that's a big honesty. You're going to be so honest when you take care of the parents of your husband. They're old men, the old man and old lady, and they need you need some care, you need some support, they need some help. If you serve them, wallahi, you get great reward. And the husband, he will love you so much and appreciate what you're doing. And that's going to strengthen the relationship between both of you. So this is part of honesty as well. Part of honesty, that being a source of sincere advice and emotional support. You see your husband is doing something wrong. And you pay attention for that point and you're worried. If you don't talk to him, he's going to be lost. So you go and talk to him. And you're not going to talk to him as if like he's a criminal or something. He's miskeen. He needs nasiha. He needs advice. So you go to protect him. You go to grab him to the right way. So you give him nasiha with mercy. You give him advice with mercy. You support him. This is honesty as well. It's not the lady who sees her husband doing something wrong and she's okay with that. And she says he's responsible. He's not a kid. One of the sisters, she said, he's not a kid. He knows what he's doing. SubhanAllah, he does not accept any advice from anyone in the world except from you. Just give him the advice. Your word could be the reason he changed his life. So you get reward, SubhanAllah. You get reward because you guided a person. And that person is the most beloved to you, the most close to your heart. SubhanAllah. So you get more rewards. So being sincere in giving the nasiha when you see him doing something wrong. Speaking the truth constantly, all the time. The truth is gonna protect you from all kinds of evil. And this is honesty as well. And this is for both men and women, the brothers and the sisters. One of the rights of the brothers, seeking the husband's pleasure. And also, when you talk about this, you have to put in the other side the appreciation, the love from the brother to his wife. As we said before you're talking about the rights of yours, you need to keep the rights of the sisters as well. So seeking the pleasure of the husband, you know that he's going to be happy if you do something like in the house, if you teach his kid, if you teach the kids the Quran, if you take care of his clothes, if you take care of the food, if you schedule his day, if you're waiting for him. So you do something to seek his pleasure. And his pleasure, throughout his pleasure, you get the pleasure of Allah. Because Prophet ﷺ said, whoever the woman dies and her husband is satisfied with her, she is going to enter Jannah. أيما امرأة ماتت وزوجها عنها راض أيما امرأة ماتت وزوجها عنها راض كان حقا على الله أن يدخلها الجنة أو كما قال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام. So whoever dies from the sisters and the husband is pleased with her, he's praising her, he's making her dua, she sought the pleasure of the husband, she's gonna get the Jannah because of the pleasure of the husband. And the vice versa. If she is seeking his anger, making him all the time angry, discussions, fighting, disputing, he's dealing with her as he's dealing with his brother. She's not like soft, she's not merciful. She's all the time, she's arguing with him. Man with another man. You're not a man. You're not a man. When he's shouting, you don't have to shout. Even if he's beating, he will be asked in the day of judgment if he is unjust, if he is an oppressor. Allah will ask him. You didn't have to do that. Today, subhanallah, they fight with one another. They kill one another. They kill one another. And I give, it's not a fatwa, but like advice that beating is not working today. If you say that Allah said it in the Quran, فَاجُرُهُنَّ فِي الْمَضَاجِعِ وَاضْرِبُوهُنَّ, beat them up. That when you beat them, so it needs rules. Okay? And we cannot control ourselves today. And most of us are not well versed with the knowledge of Islam. So I don't know exactly how to do it. And I may do it wrongly. And you have to keep in mind the environment, the culture that you live in US and so on. All of these things. And you're going to hurt. And what kind or what degree of beating. And when are you going to stop doing that? And for what reason you're going to do that? So there are many things that may prevent you from doing such thing. So avoid it. Just avoid it. Because it's going to have negative results. And that's why Prophet ﷺ, he did not beat any of his wives. He did not beat any of his wives. And he can control himself. And he can do the best things ever. So you're not better than the Prophet ﷺ. He was able to do everything perfectly in the right way. But all of his life, he did not beat. He did not use that option that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave as a last option. Because it's hard to fix it. So you need to keep that in mind as well. Seeking the pleasure of the husband is seeking the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal, as long as the husband is the righteous one and he's asking for the halal things and he's achieving justice. He's not unjust. We have to keep that in mind. One of the rights as well, seeking the permission, we talked about this, but now in detail, seeking the permission. Before you leave the house, you need to seek the permission. Before you come to the masjid to attend one of the lectures, you seek the permission of the husband. The husband doesn't want you to attend, do not attend. If you're married, one of the sisters, if you're married here and you came to the masjid or you wanted to come to the masjid and you asked your husband to come to the masjid to attend one of the lectures and he said, no, do not go there, you don't go there. Don't go there. This is not fard to come here. But if he's asking you, do not pray, you have to pray. If he's asking you, do not pay your zakat, do not fast the month of Ramadan, and I say, do not fast the month of Ramadan, you're not going to listen to him. You have to fast. But if he says, do not fast the 6th of Shawwal, what are you going to do, sisters? Do not fast the 6th of Shawwal. The husband is asking, do not fast the 6th of Shawwal, the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, the day of Arafat, the day of Ashura. What are you going to say? Huh? So you listen to him. You listen to him. Why? Because it's not fard. So if the husband is asking you something sunnah not to do it, do not do it. As long as he's not asking you to stop doing the fard. He's going to be sinful. Allah will ask him. He's brave enough. He's courage enough. He's strong enough to stand in the day of judgment. He's stubborn. He's stubborn because of just, I don't want you to fast. I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to go to this masjid anymore. Khalas, Habibi, you're strong enough to be asked in the day of judgment. You don't want to help your household to be well versed with their deen, to perfect their deen. Khalas, you're going to be asked in the day of judgment. Unless the brother, he has some, doubts that and he's jealous if she goes to the masjid, men are going to look at her. And he went with her one time and he did not like how people, they like mingling and talking and such things. So I have the right, this case, I have the right to prevent my wife because I'm jealous. I want to keep my chastity. I want to keep my honor and everything. So I have to keep that in mind. But if I prevent her with no reason, so I will be asked in the day of judgment. And for the wife, she has to listen to him. And it's a big responsibility on that man. So seeking the permission when hosting guests in your house, like neighbors, like your relatives, like even your parents, when they're coming to the house, you need to seek the permission. My parents, they're coming on the day of so-and-so. But he's preventing them. He's zalim. He's unjust. He's oppressor. And he's cutting the relationship. And instead of strengthening the relationship between the relatives, and they are like his parents-in-law, like her parents, he needs to strengthen that. And he needs to appreciate them. And he needs to be thankful to them. Because without them, he would not have her. Subhanallah. So there are some people, they're zalim. I know one of the people, all the time, if the wife, she's talking to her parents, any of her parents, he's making a big fight. And he's threatening her all the time with divorce. If you do such things, and she's complaining. He's zalim, he's unjust. If there is a reason, like the father goes to the house, whenever he goes to the house, why don't you take a loan? Why don't you go to the bank and have a loan and build a house? And he's like insisting on his daughter to ask the husband to do something haram. In this case, I'm trying to protect my wife. I'm trying to protect my house. So I can put some limits. So this is not going to be done. He only can visit us if I'm there. Because you want to hear everything. You want to watch everything. You want to make sure that everything is okay and no one is discussing haram stuff. A brother who's not fearing Allah, he doesn't fear Allah Azza wa Jal. He goes and he has evil ideas. And his eye is evil, full of hasad, full of jealousy. And all the time he's asking his sister to ask the husband things that not supposed to be asked. Regarding money, regarding properties, and so on. So I'm afraid that he destroys my house. So I ask her, do not allow your brother to come and visit you unless I'm there in the house. That's important. So she's seeking the permission. And this is a hadith. This is a hadith. If I just mention all the hadiths, this is a hadith. There is a hadith in this regard that she's not allowed to allow any of her family members unless she seeks the permission of the Prophet, of her husband. And if he says no, it's no. out of respect. And if he's dhalim, if he's unjust, Allah will ask him. If he has reasons, you can talk about this. You can seek some solutions. Seeking the permission, engaging in non-obligatory acts of worship such as voluntary fasting. We talked about this. And that is said that the husband should exercise the right with wisdom, fairness, and clear communication, especially when limiting access to family members. As we said, to have all of this done, you have to do your duties first. So we talked about seeking the permission. This is the right of a man. Seeking the permission, seeking the husband's pleasure, seeking to be honest and having the honesty and trustworthiness in the house. And the obedience, all of this is a right of the man and a duty of the sisters. Now, some of the issues we want to cover as well in the last workshop today, influencing the hearts around you. You know, many things happen in the house because I don't have the right way of conducting things, of solving things, of communicating. We have lack of communication. I have one of the family. They talked to me 2 times. They wanted to make counseling. What's the problem? The problem is communication. They don't have the right communication, the correct way of communicating with one another. He's very respectful brother, very religious, mashallah. But when he goes home, he doesn't speak. He doesn't speak with his wife. He may listen to YouTube. He may talk to his family on phone overseas. And she doesn't find anyone to talk to him. And she's working, he's working. Their life is miserable. There is no strong communication. There is a lack of influencing the heart of somebody who surrounds you. They're married, and every one of them live in a different state. One of them is far away from the other one. There is no strong communication. And at the end of the day, they were asking for the divorce. The sister, she was asking for divorce. I tried to convince the man, you have to go back home. You have to be with your wife. If you become with your wife, everything will be solved. He's not convinced. I said, I quit. I cannot solve this problem. Because he doesn't want to accept something like this. To be with your wife, So let's see how to influence and to have great impact on people around you. First thing, fear Allah tabaraka ta'ala. When you fear Allah Azza wa Jalla, Allah makes things easy for you. وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِ يُسْرًا. It's very hard. And you have problems every day. Subhanallah, one of our righteous predecessors says, إِنِّي لَأَجِدُ أَثَرَ مَعْصِيَتِي فِي خُلُقِ زَوْجَتِي. I see the traces, the impact of my bad deeds. I see it in the morals of my wife. That she fights with me, that I have a very bad and miserable life, because of the sin. And also she's gonna find it so hard with the man because of sins, because they don't fear Allah Azza wa Jal. So fearing Allah Azza wa Jal makes things easy for you. They fear Allah, so they do not resort to the haram things. They avoid riba. One of the sisters, she was talking to me, their life is burning every day. I asked them, do you have any loans, have usury? She said, yes. I said, that's the reason. Please make sure to stop this right away, as soon as possible, so that you can have good life, peaceful life. Fear Allah. The more you fear Allah, you're going to beat your wife, you're going to kill her. Fear Allah. Allah is watching you. You're going to lie because to save yourself, because you don't want him to insult you, or you don't want him to stop anything he used to give to you or something. Fear Allah Azza wa Jal and tell the truth. The more you fear Allah Azza wa Jal, the more Allah makes your life easy. So this is the first thing. The second thing, smile. And Prophet ﷺ, as was described before, and Nabi ﷺ كان بساما ضحاكا. Bassam ضحاكا, he used to be smiley, ﷺ, laughing a lot, not because mocking on one another, but he was laughing, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He was laughing, smiling to get the hearts of people. So that's why he was most beloved, alayhi salatu wasalam, by all people. None saw the Prophet ﷺ like having harsh time, or like a tough way of dealing with kids, with sisters, with brothers. He sallallahu alayhi wasallam was smiling all of the time. Yarhamukumullah. So you can win the hearts of people around you through smiling. Also, avoid the negative traits. You don't have to all the time mention the negative attributes of your partner. Whenever you sit with someone, she doesn't do so and so. What about the positives? Why don't you talk about the positives? But let's compare between the positives and negatives. Which one is more? Subhanallah, 2 pages of positive things. And only 2, 3 negative things. These negative things are connected to haram stuff, are connected to the basics of Islam, the pillars of Islam. No, it's connected because just she's waking up late a little bit, or she's sleeping after Fajr, and I have to prepare my breakfast. And she goes to the masjid a lot. Excuse me, what are you talking about? So this is negative for him. And he's always just focusing with that. And I know a man, whenever he meets with me, he says, please talk to my wife and tell her, to take care of her kids instead of coming to the masjid. I said, okay, inshallah, I'll do that. And when I went to the sister, she says, wallahi, I do everything. I do everything in the house, literally. And I take care of the kids and everything. And I don't leave the house unless I make sure that everything is okay. I teach them the Quran and so on. But he doesn't want her to go to the masjid. And that's the only bad thing that he's criticizing her. All the time, whenever he sees me, he says, talk to my wife, talk to my wife. Ammi, I said, khalas habibi, it's okay. It's okay, you don't have to make it like hard that she's the worst lady in the world because of that. You don't have to do something like this. The gift giving and the appreciation. تهادوا تحابوا. You give a gift, you get the love of the brothers and the sisters. You give the love of people around you. You give the gift for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, to win people's hearts when you gift them. Not necessary to be so valuable, so precious. You know yourself, you know your income, Somebody like this, he's a rich man, he can give a gift of $10,000. It's okay. I can a gift of $10. Okay. It doesn't matter. Do not compare yourself with others. Most important thing, the concept of the gift is there. She memorized one of the surahs of the Quran and she came happy to you. I memorized Surah Al-Nasr. Surah Al-Nasr. You're happy because you memorized Surah Al-Nasr. By the way, she's like a new Muslim. She doesn't have any of her family Muslims. And she doesn't know how to learn, how to read Arabic or anything. She memorized Surah Al-Nasr. She made jihad fi sabilillah. She made striving for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. You're an Arab, for example. Or Allah give you the ability to memorize the Quran, to read the Quran fluently, and give you the good voice. And your family are people of the Quran. Where are you from the Quran? How many pages do you read a day? As long as you're like arrogant or you do not accept that she was happy that she memorized Surah Al-Nasr. Why not? She memorized Surah Al-Nasr. Great appreciation. Great gift. And I promise you, if you memorize the Quran, we go to Hajj together. We go to Umrah together. You have so and so appreciations and gifts. Allahu Akbar. So she's doing great effort to get that ta'ah. And you help her to continue. And also, she's doing something that makes you happy. When you gift her and you appreciate what she is doing. The active listening. The active listening is one of the things that, I'm going to win the heart of that person. Why? Because you're interested in me. You do not boycott me. You do not interrupt me. Whenever I talk, you listen to me. You're all ears. You don't check your phone and, all the time. And, before you go home, get used to that. Before you go home, turn off your phone if you go late, and you used to work the all day. Turn off your phone and have like 2 numbers, private one and one for the work, so you're not confused at the house. You don't have the phone in your ears. How are you, honey? I'm gonna finish this. Give me the 5 minutes. And he goes in the basement and he stands like 2 hours or something, and then he goes back. Hey, slept? Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's not gonna work. There is no appreciation. There is no active listening. The active listening is to listen to her problems. But she's talking about nothing. Like she wanted to share something with you, like a story. One of her neighbors came to her. She made her some food, and she's describing the food for you. What's my problem with this? Why do you talk to me about this? Don't say that. Just listen. Just listen. And I, advise every one of you. There's a hadith. It's called Hadith Zara. Hadith Zara. Please write this down. Hadith Zara. The hadith of the Zara. This is her nickname. It's a long hadith. Long hadith. And that a story happened in the pre-Islamic period. That women, they were backbiting one another like the husbands. And they gathered together and they talked about this. Aisha radiallahu anha, al-Mu'mineen, the mother of the believers, she memorized all of this story. And she asked the Prophet ﷺ that I want to talk to you about Zara. And then she started to talk about Zara. She mentioned, like before she mentions Zara, she mentioned 10 women, how their husbands used to deal with them. If I just read the hadith, 10 to 15 minutes just reading. It's a very long one, very long story. 10 to 15 minutes. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is listening to her. He's all ears, alayhi salatu wasalam. And he did not say one word from the beginning of the hadith to the end of it till Aisha finished the hadith. And he says, I wish to be Abu Zara, li Zara, that I wish to be just like Abu Zara for you. Because Abu Zara was the best one of all of those husbands. But I'm not going to divorce you, because at the end of the story that Abu Zar divorced Zara. So the long story short, Prophet ﷺ, he was listening, practicing the listening carefully. So you listen. And she needs to listen as well. When I come to the house, I spend 8 hours outside the house. You missed me. You missed me. You know, absolutely. You missed me. So I'm going to talk to you. Listen to me. We're going to talk for 1 hour. We're going to discuss anything. So you have to look at me. You have to leave your phone. All the day the phone is with you. You're talking with anyone. You're doing things. Especially if you're not working. If the sister is not working, that would be more easier. But if she's working, this is a different issue. Okay? So the active listening is something important. The emotional support, she has some pain. She lost one of her family. She injured herself. You know, she lost some money. She failed at the exam or anything. She failed in the driving test, you know, to get the driving license. She is crying of anything. They cry, you know, whenever they get things, they cry quickly. SubhanAllah, take it easy. And you hug her, you give her some support words that you motivate her. It's easy, this is not the end of the world. So she needs the emotional support. And you need the emotional support. Are you going to cry? Men, are they crying? They cry. They cry. Sometimes they cry. And subhanAllah, they need also the emotional support. That if like, not necessary to cry, but you're worried about something. When you eat like, نسميها يعني سرحان, you're thinking about different thing. And she looks at your eyes, what's going on? I don't feel you're okay. If she doesn't ask this question and she's just eating, this is a big problem. She needs to ask that question. That means she's worried about him. You know, and she shows the emotional support, and she stops the eating and she goes with him. They go together. She's trying to make him like comfortable. She is trying to make him out of this bad mood or something. So the emotional support from two sides. This is something important. Thinking well of others. Thinking well of others. You have to make إحسان الظن بزوجتك. وأن تحسن الزوجة الظن بك. So you have to think good of your wife, and she has to think good of you. You came late. Why did you come late? You were talking with a woman? You were hanging out with girls? No. I had just a work. I had a guest. I had more hours to spend at the office. There was something urgent, and they called me, and I had to go there. So why do you spend all of that time with that lady outside? And why do you talk to that man on the phone? He was a client. As long as you allowed her to work, so you're okay that she's talking to the clients. Otherwise, keep her in the house. And do not talk about this. So you have to think good of your partner before you judge. And if you allow things to happen, you have to be responsible of the results. If you allow your wife to work, you know, be responsible for the results. One of the family, they came, and their main problem, the husband is complaining. I think I mentioned that before. He was complaining that she's talking to men. And I said, who allowed her to work? He said, me. So he allowed her. Did anybody force him to allow her to work? Nobody. You know, the truth is that he got a loan from the bank to buy a car. So he needed money. So he asked his wife to work so that he can get more money. And after asking her to work and allowing her to work and urging her to work, he's complaining because she's talking to men. This is her job. So why do you blame her in this regard? This is not something good. So when you allow something to happen, you have to be responsible for that. And make istishara and make istikhara and think about the results of anything you do before you do it. Okay? So thinking good of one another, this is really important. And that, you know, when you show the good intentions When you show the good intentions, you win the hearts of people around you. Expressing the love openly, we talked about this, and we learned it from Prophet ﷺ when he said to Aisha radiallahu anha that she was the most beloved, and he said that in public. So now, what does a husband need most from his wife, and what does a wife need most from her husband? I sent this through the group chat, and only 4 brothers, and I was one of them, so 3 brothers, 3 brothers, they responded to this. And only 6 sisters, they responded to this. So that means that it has no value, and it's priceless, right? It doesn't have any benefit.
Priceless does not.
I'm sorry, yeah, it has no value, yeah. So it has no value, and it's something bad, it's something evil, and I shouldn't do it. That survey, it has no meaning. And actually, that shows how responsible we are. You know, if we do not do like short survey, like short questions, we don't have like 2 minutes. It's gonna take you 2 minutes, or not 2 minutes. Some people are gonna make it in 30 seconds. They're, mashallah, so smart. 30 seconds, they're gonna make it, and they didn't make it. So that means that, you know, life is hard. If I don't make it today, and I'm not interested in the most thing I need from my wife, the most thing I need from my husband, so I think we're not responsible enough to marry, you know? So this is important. I mentioned some of these options, and I'll show you the survey, the result at the end. I mentioned the emotional security. What things you need it most from your wife? Emotional security, she needs to feel that she's safe in the house. Economically, she is safe physically, and she is safe from the emotional side. So she's secure and she's safe, and you're safe as well when you talk to her, when you share things together. You know that this is a secret, she's not gonna disclose your privacy and so on. This emotional security is important. So is it the most thing you needed from your wife? Or this is the most thing you need from your husband? Because it's the same things. Mutual respect, is it the most thing you needed? So think about it. Mutual trust, kind words, the kindness and courtesy, the politeness, the patience and forgiveness, being responsible, okay? Meaningful communication, the emotional connection, the financial provision, the support in the household and affairs. You know, from the 2 sides, some people, they ask their wives to have the support as well in the household. The spiritual leadership, which is needed more by men, you know, and the household care, which is needed more by wives. So which one is the most important thing for you, that it's most needed for you to have it in your wife? So I need to have some answers from the brothers. You know, the question is, what does the husband need most from his wife, and what does the wife need most from her husband? You have around 12 or 13 things. So what is the most thing you needed from your wife, from the brothers?
The respect and support.
The respect and support. The second line. Fear of Allah. This is all under the fear of Allah Azza Jal. Because if they fear Allah, they will have the 12 things.
Okay. I finished those.
Yes. Fearing Allah Azza Jal, or you say like, I didn't want to have like general concepts like practice Muslim or religious person. I need to have a religious wife. So if you have this, we already talk about them like they're religious and they fear Allah. So if they fear Allah Azza Jal, what is the most thing needed in their personality? You know. So in the third line, mutual trust, emotional connection. Like from the sisters, also, what do you need most from your husbands? Yeah, patience and forgiveness. صح? What else? What line is this? Okay, first line. What is the most thing you need from your husband? The respect. Second line. Understanding. Anything from here?
Well, wouldn't it be companionship includes all of that together?
What do you mean?
Companionship from your husband to be companionship.
Yeah, it could be like the meaningful communication,
Well, companionship actually equals all of it.
emotional connection.
It's all of it together. It's companionship. That with my husband have all those together.
Yes. Jazakallahu khairan. May Allah bless you. Allahumma ameen. And thank you for attending today. You enlightened our masjid.
Nobody said financial.
Huh?
Financial?
Financial?
Nobody said financial.
They say?
No, nobody said.
Why do you talk about on their behalf?
Respect is not gonna pay bills.
Respect is not going to pay bills? Respect is going to make her patient with your poverty. The tools for solving the marital problems. We will have the survey and see what sister said and what the brothers said at the end, inshallah. So the tools for solving the marital problems, this is something important. I think this is one of the most important things we need today. And you need to focus on this because, as we said before, when you marry, you think that it's going to be the best life and the next day is going to be the most bright day ever. And it's going to be amazing. But you have to keep in mind that there are some responsibilities. There will be like, she's a new for you, you are new for her. Even if you were engaged for a year or 2 years, it doesn't matter. The truth of both personalities will show up after the marriage, after you stay at home alone. So there will be like some misunderstanding, miscommunication, especially at the beginning. If you fail to understand this, you'll ask for divorce as soon as possible. But if you keep it in mind, and you're ready and you prepare for that, and we talked about this when we were talking about the psychological preparation for marriage. We talked about this in details, that there are something that you need to keep it in mind, that there will be disputes or misunderstandings, miscommunication. All of this, when you keep it in mind, you will look for solving the problem. One of the brothers, he's just asking me, he said, I came to you, like, he did not spend a year with his wife. And he said, you made us the marriage and I need to divorce my wife. And I told you before about the sister who wanted to be divorced after 2 weeks of marriage. That's in the community. Why? Because they fail to solve their problem. So that's something important that makes life last, inshallah, and you stay together as long as you're looking for the solutions. طيب. Strengthen your connection with Allah. Again, fear Allah Azza wa Jal. Every solution will come to you. Every good thing, Allah will send it to you, will guide you. You know, when you go for sujood, you're stuck with a big problem. And you make sujood and you say, Ya Allah, Rabbi shrah li sadri. ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني اللهم ألف بيني وبين زوجتي اللهم أصلح لي زوجتي اللهم إني أسألك خير زوجتي. And she says the same thing. اللهم إني أسألك خير زوجي اللهم أصلح لي زوجي اللهم أصلح لي ولدي اللهم أصلح بيننا اللهم ألف بيننا. Both parties, they make in this dua in a strong connection to Allah, and she goes and she makes sadaqah, she gives sadaqah to have good relationship. And he goes to Umrah, they go together to Hajj and Umrah just to solve the problem. They drink Zamzam with the intention, because the Zamzam, when you drink Zamzam with the intention, with a good intention, with something you wish from Allah, Allah gives it to you. So subhanAllah, you go especially to drink Zamzam, that Allah, your intention, Allah fixes your problems. You have a good relationship with your wife, and you have a good relationship with your husband. You give sadaqat, you make dua, you pray at night, just to get the good relationship between you and your husband. This is something amazing. This is going to solve your problem, and this is the main reason you can have your problems solved. Not all problems are harmful. There are things may happen, and you think, you look at it from the outward, this is something very evil. And subhanallah, it has good in it. وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُ شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. So you become satisfied with Allah, with what Allah gave to you, and look at this problem from the right side, from the bright side. You look at it as it's a gift from Allah, because I knew thing about my partner, I didn't know it before. I didn't know that she fears something. I didn't know that she thinks this way. Subhanallah. Now we're done. Don't do that anymore. But you kept in mind that this sister, she has like something in her personality. You only figured it out after having the problem. Subhanallah. You have the problem of Aisha radiallahu anha when she was accused with zina by al-munafiqeen and so on. And Allah is talking about this, and He says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ جَاءُوا بِالْإِفْكِ عُصْبَةٌ مِّنْكُمْ. He says, لَا تَحْسَبُوهُ شَرًّا لَكُمْ. So it was ifk, accusation of zina. Prophet ﷺ, he didn't know what to do. The revelation is not coming to the Prophet ﷺ. And it's a big problem in the whole Medina. The wife of the Prophet ﷺ. And Allah says, لا تحسبوه شر لكم. Don't think it's an evil thing for you. بل هو خير لكم. It's a good thing for you. And then Allah frees Aisha from above the 7 heavens. Allahu Akbar. In over 10 ayat in the Quran, you read it till the day of judgment. What is that? What is that? Something amazing. To know the value of Aisha. To know the value of Aisha رضي الله عنها. So, لا تحسبوه شرا لكم بل هو خير لكم. So not all problems are only harmful. You can look at the right side, you can see something good in that thing after solving the problem. The third thing, avoid the destructive behaviors that make you confused and ban you from having the good solutions. Like, do not abandon the home. Some people, when they have a problem, they just leave the house and you don't see them anymore for a week or something. They turn off their phones. You know nothing about them. But it's okay just to leave the house. It's a big trouble. You leave the house for a couple hours and then you go back. If you go to the masjid, you speak with the imam or something. But you're not going to spend like a week or a month outside the house. Wallahi, the sisters, they called me and they say he did not come for a couple months. And one of them, she said, 1 year he did not come and we knew nothing about him. And she had to work to pay the bills, Habibi. She had to work to pay the bills. This is America. Welcome to America. If you're not there, she has to work. Otherwise, she will be in prison. She will be in the street. You know, we have to fear Allah Azza wa Jal. So do not abandon the home. Keep the children out of the marital disputes. Do not discuss the problems in front of your children. You're destroying them. Please discuss the problems in the bedroom. That's it. And nobody hears you. When they hear you all the time, dispute with one another and fight with one another, you destroy their personality. And they're not gonna love you. They're gonna be your enemies. And you build enemies, not friends. Not the companionship that the sister was talking about. There's no companionship because the companionship is with everyone in the house. With your partner, with your wife, and it is with the husband, and it is with the children as well. So I'm not going to build the companionship with them if I discuss my troubles in front of them, and I shout in front of them, and I beat their mother in front of them. And he's looking at you as a zalim, as a big presser. And this is not gonna make a successful house. Okay, so then the next one, never resort to magic or superstition. Subhanallah, this is a lot, you know. This is al-kahana. The person is not going to have his salah, for example, accepted. It's not going to be accepted for 40 days if he goes to a witchcraft or magician to make something like to harm or to get benefits from the magician or the person who's making sihr, the magic, the black magic, whatever. We have to avoid. This is not going to solve our problem. You rely on someone else other than Allah Azza wa Jal. You're not relying on Allah. You're not seeking the help of Allah Azza wa Jal. You're destroying your house. You're destroying your salah. You're destroying your ibadah. You're destroying your belief. Everything you destroy it in your life by going to such places and doing such things by brothers and sisters. You have to avoid this and never think about it to have a safe religion, to have safe house. Avoid threatening divorce or a second marriage. You say whenever you come to a problem, you say, if you do not stop doing that, I will divorce you. And I don't care about this. One of the brothers, he divorced his wife 3 times. And she talked to me. She said, he divorced me 3 times. I said, I need to talk to the brother to make sure that he did that thing because it's not an easy thing. And I need to know, what did he say? So the brother, I talked to him, he talked to me. He said, you wanted me to talk to you? I said, yes, please. He said, yeah, what do you want? I said, she was talking about the divorce. So how many times did you divorce? I divorced her 3 times. I said, are you sure you wanted to divorce her 3 times? He said, no, 1,000,000 times. I hanged up. So get out of here. What are you talking about? He's not saying. He wanted to divorce 1,000,000 times? Subhanallah. What did you see from her? What did you see? they were married for 30 years. 30 years. That's what I was saying at the beginning. You seek the pleasure of Allah. You seek the satisfaction of Allah. Or you seek just till they marry, the kids they marry, so we can fight. Let them marry and then we can free ourselves so we can fight. We can be dissolved. You know, this is not going to work. This intention is so bad. So, avoid threatening the divorce or second marriage. Habibi, no wife loves the second marriage. No wife loves to be a second wife or to have another wife. Very minor cases in the whole Muslim world, you could do something like this. I have one of the shuyukh in Egypt. She is the one who chose the 3 wives for him. It's amazing. May Allah have mercy on him. He was a good sheikh and was an alim, big alim and so on. But this is like one case, 2 cases. And another sheikh, he just opened the case, the topic with his wife, and he said that are you out of da'wah and so on, I want to have a second wife. She said, forget about da'wah, forget about being, an imam, forget about any of this. You're not, and a big sheikh, and like he has books and everything. So it happens. Every wife, they're jealous. al-Mu'min Aisha, gharat ummukum. Your mother, al-Mu'min Aisha, gharat. She was jealous. And every marriage of the Prophet ﷺ, it was a revelation from Allah. So do not make analogy of yourself on the Prophet ﷺ. It was a revelation from Allah Tabaraka Ta'ala to marry Zainab, to marry Hafsa, to marry Maymuna, to marry Juwayriyah, to marry Safiya, Khadija, Aisha. Now, Khadija was before the Prophethood. So it was a revelation. Every marriage of the Prophet ﷺ. So you're not going to make the analogy. So you're not going to threaten the sister with the second. This is not going to solve the problem. It's going to make it worse. So you need to avoid that destruction as well. Do not make dua against yourself or against your spouse. Whenever you get you're stuck with anything, oh Allah, may Allah take me and, in my life, I cannot be patient anymore. I wish I leave this life. I wish a car hits me or strikes me. I wish I go and so on, drown in the sea or anything. Why do you do that? That's a dua. That's a dua against you. And Prophet ﷺ said, لا تدعوا على أنفسكم ولا تدعوا على أولادكم توافق ساعة إجابة فيستجيب الله عز وجل من أحدكم. Do not make dua against yourself. You cannot solve it. Go and make wudu and pray 2 rak'ah, make istighfar, read some Quran, leave the house a little bit and then go back, But do not make dua against yourself. It could be a time of accepting the dua. Allah accepts your dua and then you die on a not good condition. You are not reading the Quran. You are making dua against yourself. You are not making dhikr. Maybe you insulted her or you said a bad word and that could be the last thing. You didn't say even La ilaha illallah. من كان آخر كلامي لا إله إلا الله دخل الجنة. If your word, the last word you said is La ilaha illallah, you go to Jannah. But the last word you say, may Allah kill you, may Allah... What is this? This is not the La ilaha illallah. So do not make dua against yourself. And for the sisters. And for the children as well. And do not make dua against your children. Just make dua for them. Allahumma hadi zawjati, instead of making dua against her. Allahumma hdini wa aslihni. And instead of, you think that you're infallible, you're the best, you're the most perfect because you're the man? No. We have a lot of flaws and defects. We need the help of Allah Azza wa Jal to fix ourselves. Avoid the physical abuse and insults or cursing. Prophet ﷺ, he taught us that when you deal with your wife in a situation or anything, do not say even قبحك الله. Do not make a curse. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يضرب أحدكم امرأته ضرب البعير ثم يجامعها في آخر الليل. يعني do not beat her like the animal and then at the end of the day let's go and sleep together. That's nothing. What are you doing? So avoid all of this. These are distractions. This does not build a strong house. So when you solve a problem, avoid the destructive behaviors, and I give you some of the examples of this. Also, be calm. Calm and private communication is going to solve the problem. One of the tools as well, give it a time. Give it a time, it could be solved by itself. Tomorrow we will talk about it. And subhanallah, tomorrow you find somebody calls you and everything is solved. It would be a big problem if you discussed it during the night. Just keep it. As long as it's not a big issue. You can keep it, okay, we will discuss it later on. You're traveling together, you don't have to fight in the airport. You don't have to let anyone or the whole airport is watching you because you're fighting with you. Especially like if you're Muslim, you're wearing thawb or something, she's wearing hijab, you're respecting Islam. You have to be a role model, You're da'iyah, you're ambassador of Islam, you're ambassador of the religion. You're working as a police officer. You don't have to show like something like very severe against people. You have to respect people, and you have to humble yourself in front of people so that you show the best example. Our sheriff, Brother Abdul Rahman, he was with me at the office yesterday, and subhanallah, he was practicing the religion in the jail when he went to make his job in the jail, and one of the people, they were unable to give him the medication, and Brother Abdul Rahman, the sheriff, he said to him, we have something in Islam, it's called ruqya. So ruqya, he started to talk to him about ruqya, what ruqya is. And then after explanation, the man, he said, okay, just make me this. Abdul Rahman, he made him the ruqya. Subhanallah, the man slept. Abdul Rahman left. And then in the next day, Abdul Rahman went there and he found him sleeping. He said, the man died. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And the cameras everywhere, they're going to punish me. I'm lost. And then they wake him up. Abdul Rahman, you came back. What did you do for me? He said, I did nothing. I just read some of the verses of the Quran. And then he asked him, what is this religion? And then Abdul Rahman, he told him about this religion. The brother did his shahada. He said, how to become a Muslim? He said, you need to just take a shower and you do so and so. And he told him about Islam. Abdul Rahman is telling me right now that this brother in the jail, he's asking for books from like different organizations, even from his family, and they're non-Muslims. And they send him a book. Abdul Rahman says to me, whenever I go and I visit him, he teaches me new things about Islam. This is a role model. May Allah bless Abdul Rahman, his family. By the way, he's sick. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him shifa. وَأَنْ يَعْفُ عَنْهُ وَعَنْ مَرْضَى الْمُسْلِمِينَ أَجْمَعِينَ. So give it a time. It may be solved by itself. And accept and live. Sometimes you need to live with one of the problems because it's not like مَعْلُومٌ مِنَ الدِّينِ بِالضَّرُورَةِ, something like one of the pillars of Islam. If she doesn't make it, she's going to be kafir. No, it could be something in her personality. That sometimes she's so nervous. Sometimes she loses the control, loses her temper. So you need to keep that in mind. You try to solve it from time to time. But after a while, like after 4 years, 5 years, you figure out no solutions. And I love her so much. So I'm not going to do anything that would disturb her in this regard. I'll respect her, even if she becomes like losing her temper or something, that's okay for me. You live with that problem and you get the reward, inshallah, for sabr, because this is patience. This is patience. Every good deed, this is bala, this is a test. And if you're patient with the test, so you get the reward of Allah Azza wa Jal. And the same thing with the man, that you tried your best to solve something in the man and he cannot do it. He cannot stop it. We're not talking about haram things. We're talking about things in the personality. That his voice is loud. He's losing his temper or something. So they find it like lasting problem, so they can live with it. Seek the external advice wisely. Close that door. Close it. So we're going to give them at the end. Okay, so seek the external advice wisely. What I say external, not eternal, because the eternal, they might not be just. They might not achieve the justice like the father, the brother, the mother. Because, my mother, whenever my wife tells her something that like out of joke, she says, Muhammad, he did so and so. He says, why did you do that for him? She's blaming her. She doesn't give it the right. So she's my mother. She's always with me. I said, Mom, you should be with her. I'm the wrong one guy. So you shouldn't do that. So you seek the advice externally. So one of the shuyukh, one of the people, the friends, so they can judge, with fair. They can be just and achieve the justice. This is something in solving the problems. So strengthen your connection with Allah Azza wa Jal. Not all problems are harmful. Avoid the destructive behavior and calm private communication. Give it a time. Accept and live with minor flaws. Seek external advice wisely. We come to the end of our marriage workshop today, and I'd like to cover quickly what we did in the 2 months, almost 2 months. So the summary of the marriage workshop, what did we study? We studied the concept of marriage in Islam. That was the first lecture, and we talked about this in details. Second lecture, we talked about the Islamic rulings, the Islamic ruling on marriage, and we talked about the motivations for marriage. These were, both of them, they were in second lecture. And we talked about the psychological preparation for marriage, things that I need to understand and have before marriage. And we talked about the criteria for choosing a wife, the criteria for choosing a husband. We talked about the engagement, which is khitbah before the marriage. We talked about the marriage contract, the nikah, and some advices for the period between the contract and the wedding ceremony, the Islamic wedding, which is the walima after that, the Islamic wedding, the wedding in Islam, and Prophet Muhammad ﷺ as a husband, and mutual rights of spouse, understanding the rights and some important issues that we studied today. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. That was the end of our marriage workshop. Please takbir. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. That's a great blessing from Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala that we achieved it and we completed. It's a big blessing from Allah Azza wa Jal that we started it, that we found a place, that we can study it, that we find brothers can attend, sisters can attend. And I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to give you all, if you're not married, all of you, inshallah. Ammi, assalamu alaikum. How are you doing? To give you all the righteous wives. And I ask Allah Azza wa Jal for every sister who did not marry to give them the righteous husbands, Allahumma ameen, and to give them the peace and the best in this life and in hereafter. Quickly, let's look at the questions, and our sisters, answer this question. What is the first thing you need most from your husband? What is this? 60.7%. Patience and forgiveness. Who said patience and forgiveness here? So patience and forgiveness, this is most needed by sisters. Patience and forgiveness. And I believe, yes, they need us to be patient. Many times, my wife, she's advising me, be patient. And I lose my temper. Be patient. And I lose my temper. I keep doing that. I keep acting in a bad way, in an evil way. And the only advice is she's asking me to be patient. And by the way, I ask her to be patient as well. Subhanallah. We have to be patient. This is most needed from us as men. If you are patient, if you forgive, subhanallah, the life is going to be easy. And I say, I'm not talking about forgiving the haram. She's doing haram and I'm patient with that. No, you're doing something haram. No, I'm talking about life. She's not learning yet. She's not the best cook. She's not the best one to raise the kid. She's doing some mistakes in the house. The house is not that clean. We have to be patient. Take it easy. These things can be solved. We're not talking about the haram things. So patience and forgiveness. We do mistakes. All of us, we do mistakes. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala named himself Al-Ghafur Rahim, the most forgiving, the most merciful. So get some of these attributes. Get some of these attributes. Learn it from Allah, from Allah's name, to forgive and to be merciful. The second thing, being responsible, and also to be having the emotional security. The second thing they need most, the emotional security. And the third thing they need most, 33.3 is the mutual respect and being responsible as well by some of the sisters. By the brothers, they need most from you, the sisters. They need most is what? The mutual trust. Who said mutual trust here? No, Ali, because him and another guy, they just voted. Yes, 3 brothers. I was the fourth one. I was trying. Is it working or not? So I'm proud of you guys. MashaAllah. May Allah bless you. Allah. They're not coming to my class of the Quran, so you just expect that they're going to make the survey?
It's something different.
Okay. Last thing they need also, the providing nourishment. Yani being taking care of the house and the matters of the house. What is the next step? After having this matter, do you think that it's a good idea to stop and we don't take any workshops anymore?
No.
Absolutely.
Yes, who said yes? Get out of here. I will beat you.
Whoa.
Yeah, I will hang him in the ceiling.
We just had the whole class about not doing that, Sheikh.
What?
Not beating people.
No, I beat men, not women. Okay? So, what is the next step? Do you prefer to stop here or we do another workshop and other workshops in the future?
Yeah, we keep going.
We keep going?
Keep going.
May Allah bless you. Allahumma ameen. So I was thinking of a project, which is two things I was thinking about after consulting some of the brothers in the community. So, تربية الأطفال, التربية النبوية للأطفال. So, raising the kids, the prophetic way and methodology of raising the kids and upbringing the kids. What do you think of this topic? Is it a good one? This book is done by our brother Muhammad Noor ibn Abdul Hafid Suwaid. This is one of the most encyclopedic books in this regard. It's an Arabic book. And let me tell you that all of the workshop that we did, also it was an Arabic book. It was, it's called the Dawra al-Tahiliya fi al-Hayat al-Zawjiyya by one of the scholars. His name is Muhammad Khairuddin al-Sha'ar. It's over like 200 pages. And basically it was my main source because before I got married, I had to study all of this book before I married. And alhamdulillah, I taught you most of the things that was in this book. So I shared it with you. And today I'm thinking about tarbiyah, upbringing, the methodology of the Prophet ﷺ of upbringing in Islam. This is something amazing. If we understand it, if we keep it in mind, we will have righteous kids. And also we teach ourselves that many things that we learned was wrong, so we need to fix our manners, our behaviors in the right way according to the life of the Prophet ﷺ. There's something else I shared it with you before, which is the idle Muslim and the idle Muslimah. You know, this is talking about the manners and the behaviors and the part and role of each one of you in the community and in Islam with Muslims and with non-Muslims. So what do you think? We start with this or the previous one, which is about upbringing in Islam? So if you agree to study this book, upbringing, the methodology of the Prophet of upbringing and disciplining in Islam, raising the kids in Islam, please raise your hand. The second book, second two books, The Idle Muslim and The Idle Muslimah. If you, mashallah, most of the sisters, they want the second choice. And most of the brothers, they need the first one. Khalas, inshallah, we make qur'ah and we pray istikhara and we consult people of knowledge. Huh?
This book's shorter.
I say this one is a better
I will work on them. We will get some free time, inshallah, like a month or something. And then in a month after I prepare the project, I will let everyone, inshallah, know. I will keep the groups, free for everyone. We will keep you all in the group, so I will update you with all informations we need to know about the next workshop, inshallah. Any of the questions?
I was gonna say that the ideal Muslim is just I feel like it's a book that you could pretty much read and understand on your own.
Yes.
But then the second one would be
I agree with you. He's saying that The Idle Muslim, it's a book that you can read and understand by yourself. And actually that's true. It's more easy than the previous one. Doesn't need much explanation. It explains itself. Yes. Any questions here? So, the question sister is asking, when it comes to seeking permission, if a husband refuses to grant his wife permission for something and the sister asks for the reason, is he required to provide an explanation or can he refuse? At the point of discussion, like they discussed the matter at 7 p.m. and she said, give me a reason. He said, I'm not going to give you a reason right now. No, you have to give me a reason right now. No, I'm not going to talk to you right now. I'm not going to give you a reason right now. No, you have to give me a reason right now. Okay, you don't want to give me a reason? I'm going to leave, I'm going to go. No, it's not going to work. Don't talk. We said, give it a time, صح? Give it time. You may have the reasons after that. And me, myself, I do things like this, and I ask my wife to get used to that. I will just say yes or no right now, and we will discuss it later on. Okay, it's okay, just be patient. And you're asking for patience and forgiveness. So if he says yes or no, we need to be patient as well as sisters. Okay, you need to be patient with that. And remember that you need to seek the permission. The reasons, if he's a righteous man, if he's fearing Allah Azza wa Jal, he's going to give you the reasons. He's going to talk to you about this in details, inshallah. But if he's just out of injustice, so Allah will ask him. He's an oppressor. But you need to listen to him. If a husband and wife agree before marriage about something, example could be that the wife will continue to work, but after marriage the husband changes his mind and asks her to stop. Is he allowed to do that. And if she refuses, is it considered, yarhamkumullah, is it considered disobedience given that they had agreed beforehand? This is fatwa. I can't talk about it in public. This is fatwa because each case differs. If they agree that you're not going to work after marriage, and she was working something, and then after marriage, she worked in a place, all of the place are men. All of the place are men, only men. And she has to work overnight. Who's going to accept that? She's going to say, we agreed together before marriage that he shouldn't stop me from working. So this is a case. Another case, she's working as a nurse, she's working over the day, she doesn't work much time, she doesn't work many days, and he wants her to stop. So he wanted to break his promise. This is another case. So there are many different cases. It's not like in general. So if we have a case like this, we have to sit down and see, because this is fatwa. And let me tell you, the fatwa is like the size of your thawb. Let's say this is like 50, I'm not going to say it because I know guys are going to. Okay? Because, are you going to buy me a thawb?
Yeah, inshallah.
It's 56 large.
Inshallah. Thank you.
So, what happened? That this fatwa is like the size of your thawb. If it's like 56 large or something, and I give it to Ali, it's not suitable for him. I give it to someone else, it could be suitable. So you're gonna try it with 10 people. Out of the 10 people, could be 1 or 2 gonna fit them. So the fatwa is like the size of your thawb, of your garment. So it changes. It cannot work with everyone because each case needs that. We need to understand, to know the circumstances and everything, and then we judge that. So if we have this as a case, we need to talk about it to see all the circumstances and the environment about this. The sister says, Assalamu alaikum. First of all, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you effort and gain a lot of from this. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullah, sister. Jazakumullah khairan. You spoke about trust today, and my question is, what is a piece of advice about trusting a culture outside of their own? Stick to your culture first, and if you get a culture, a righteous brother, like from a different culture, so you need to spend some time in engagement, in khitbah, to know one another very well. And we talked about this while engagement, that the time of the khitbah, sometimes, mostly, it shows the persons, it shows people, from different cultures. And you do everything after istikhara. You did istikhara and you consulted and you make tawakkul ala Allah Azza wa Jal, and you make many istikhara on this. If it's khair, it's going to continue, inshallah. If it's shar, if it's evil, you rely on Allah. It's not going to continue. It's not going to continue. And you trust in Allah Azza wa Jal. You know watermelon? Can you know, is it red or white? If you're not expert in buying the watermelon, marriage is like this. You don't know. Wallahi, you don't know. You may spend like a year, 2 years together in engagement. And after marriage, everything changes. Everything changes. What is this? This is not the person who used to talk to me. Subhanallah. This is a different person. So it's white. It's not red. You're not going to eat it. And then you try your best. And then you find everything is okay, inshallah. So mostly you do istikhara, you do consultation, and you make tawakkul ala Allah Azza wa Jal. And whatever happens to you, inshallah, it's khair. Even if it's a divorce after that, you learned something. And Allah wanted you to face this, to protect you from, another thing which was more evil if you were to continue it. And subhanallah, Allah gave you that situation, and life happened this way so that you can learn from it. طيب. What else? I think now there's no more questions, inshallah ta'ala. Thank you everyone for coming today. May Allah bless you. I'd like to thank the masjid. Masjid supported the snacks for today. And I'd like everyone participated in this workshop to succeed. May Allah bless all of you. And everyone came here to learn something and educate yourself. My advice, and my final advice, I expected more parents to come. Ammi Abu Kinana, my advice, do not make marriage hard for the youth. This is like general advice for the parents and Amm Saleh, do not make it hard for the youth. If I find someone who's suitable for me and compatible to me, like in a different culture, why not? As long as he's righteous and everything is okay with that. Is it okay to ask for my daughter, like I say, a righteous person, and as a father, and I have a daughter, and I go to that person, I have a girl, she is 20 years old, and 22 and 25, and we were looking for a good husband, and I believe you're the righteous one. This is okay. And Umar, he did it with the Prophet. He did it with Uthman. He did it with Umar radiallahu anhu, with Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and he did it after that with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when Prophet married Hafsa radiallahu anha, al-Mu'mineen. So it is okay if you think that this brother is righteous, you believe him in the right way. But I don't advise the sisters themselves to do something like this. Like the sister, she liked the brother, and then she offers herself to the brother. This is not gonna work in this our beautiful time that we have, no trust, no honesty. So we need the parents themselves to take this step. You know, not the couples or the youth themselves, like the brother or the sisters. Okay, so this is something. And another thing regarding mahr, this is for the parents. Do not make it hard for the youth to marry. Mahr is easy. والنبي عليه الصلاة والسلام قال أعظمهن بركة أيسرهن مهرا. So the greatest of them in barakah, those who do not ask for great amounts of mahr. You get the barakah of Allah Azza wa Jal. And this is for the sisters. You don't have to make it expensive. For the brothers, because you may make the marriage hard for them, and they may not be able to marry you, and then you become late in marriage and so on, just because you wanted something of the dunya. As long as the brother is righteous and you trust his family and everything, and you did istikhara, make it easy for them, and the families make it easy for them. This is the final advice I wanted to share with you. And now, inshallah, this is the time of the certificates.